are live. At least I think we are. Oh, wait a second to make sure. Lovely Thursday. Hey, everybody. Oh, wow, it looks different. Every time I do a live, and I do them twice a week, it looks different. Actually, looks better. So if any of you do a live, you know what I'm talking about. It's like ever changing. Facebook is constantly changing everything. They say it's for the good. Is it though? I don't know. Anyways, I'm Catherine Hood. Most of you have met me, hopefully on a phone call. We've discussed your goals. We've discussed your challenges, any barriers that you have. If we haven't talked, know that you have an opportunity to do so. It doesn't cost any money. There's no obligation. I'm not a salesperson at all. I'm here to help and support you in whatever that means to you. Wherever you are in your journey, wherever you need some help, a little motivation, whatever that is, let's get on a phone call. All you got to do is private message me. Say, I'm ready. I want to do this. And I'll give you the link to my calendar and we'll find a time that works for both of us where I can meet you and help you in any way, shape, or form, or just listen. I'm actually a really good listener and love to help support and inspire others. So I am a certified diabetes prevention health coach. What that means is I help you lose weight, get control of your blood sugars, whether you are a pre-diabetic or a type 2 diabetic. I'm here to help you. I've been insulin dependent. I've been in a grocery store and bawled my eyes out. I've been frustrated. I've been to a nutritionist and had them tell me all kinds of things and left more confused and frustrated and scared. I am fully in control of my blood sugars. I have a watchful eye on me. I go to the doctor. It's all virtual. I go and get my blood work done twice a year to tune in with my hormones, my blood sugars, my thyroid, and other issues that I'm heading off, right? My health is in amazing condition right now. I feel amazing. I look amazing. I'm able to bodybuild and I'm in my 40s. So it is possible. But I do want to talk about today. One thing real quick before I talk about the topic of today. This is your group. Know that this is a safe space to post your own thread, whatever challenges you're having, whatever barriers you're facing, sabotage, or that self-sabotage, sabotage of others, recipes or hacks or things that you're trying or doing. This is your safe space to post, create a new thread. Maybe you need to get new ideas on how to move more. Maybe you're having, difficulty getting your stress under control or sleep or hydration, or want ideas for meal plans or how to prep food or whatever it is. It's complicated. It's not easy. There's not a meal plan that fits everybody's needs. All our pancreases are at different stages, our liver, our kidneys, everything. Hormones, body weight, all these things matter. The temperature, color of your eyes. No, not really. But there are so many different factors that day to day we're facing new challenges and struggles, and I'm here to help you. So is the group. So use this group as your own space for help and education, and know that, we're all coming from a good place. We all have different experiences. We may not agree with each other's philosophies, and that's okay. That's fine. Don't, get upset or point fingers. Just, keep scrolling, stay in the group. Don't block anybody. Just, it's a difference of opinion and different teachings, different, philosophies. It's fine. And I don't see any of that going on in our groups, which is nice. I love it. Let's keep it that way. Drama free. But I wanted to talk about daily carbs. Let's just head it off. We're all different. So the amount of carbs that we eat and how we eat them is going to differ from individual to individual, depending on where you are in your journey, how advanced your type 2 diabetes is. Are you pre-diabetic? Are you type 2 diabetic? Full on, whatever. So it is different. And day to day, our bodies are going to process carbs differently as well, right? A hot day versus a cold day. Hydrated, not hydrated, good sleep, not good sleep, really stressed out, not stressed out. It's all going to be different every single day. So that's the thing to do, is to know that we're all different and we're all experiencing different things. So what is my answer? How many carbs do you eat a day? Well, first, what is your doctor telling you? Know that they only have about 16 hours of training on nutrition, most general doctors. So they have the textbook, version, and unless they're type 2 diabetic and been through the experience, they may not know. And again, their experience would be different than yours, even if they were type 2 diabetic. So my answer is really, it boils down to what your doctor tells you, what your nutritionist tells you, what any of your doctors are telling you. That's a starting point. That's great. Take it, use it, start there, but use your meter, right? Hopefully you have a continuous glucose meter. If you don't, get one. Get it prescribed, get your insurance company to cover part of it, all of it, any of it. Next step would be to have your own meter at home with your tabs. We had a wonderful thread last week that talked about how to and where to get tabs, your glucose meters tabs reasonably. There were several different places. Please get a large supply of them. I know they're not cheap, but until you really understand your body and know that this week it's going to be different than a year from now. So you can't just learn how your body responds to carbs this year and then not check it ever again. It's important to continuously check. But once you get a feel of it and know what it feels inside when you're high or low, you can you'll know. And you know what to stay away from, right? It's a matter of choice. But using your meter. Okay, so what does that mean? In unit inside of this group is a ton of valuable information. And one of the pieces that I have in there is eat to your meter. And what it tells you is to check your blood glucose before your first bite. Check your glucose before your first bite. Write it down, log it into your app or whatever it is. Like I have a wellness app, so when you become a client of mine, I get you set up on my wellness app, and we track your blood glucose levels. But check your blood glucose before that first bite and set your timer at that same time for 1 hour. Eat your meal slowly, enjoy it, and at that timer, when it goes off at 1 meter, check it again. If it's a 20-point spike up, there's an adjustment that needs to occur. Okay, so if you had carbs in that meal, whether that be trace carbs, meaning it's in carbs are in, mostly vegetables and berries and things of that nature. If it's trace carbs, something that just little tiny amounts, that's fine. But if you actually, hopefully you don't have a 20-point or more swing on that. And hopefully you have protein with every meal, lean protein. I preach that over and over again. Have lean protein with every single meal. But if you had carbs, let's say you had just a cup of rice, cup of brown, whole grain, gluten-free rice with your chicken breast, let's just say. Simple, easy, plain, generic meal. 4 to 6 ounces of protein. Let's say half a cup of rice. And your glucose is 25 points higher from that point before your first bite. It's too many carbs. So the next time I would say have less carbs. You don't want to have more protein, because if you go over 30 grams of protein, your body turns that into sugar as well. So don't go over your 4 to 6 ounces of protein, because that turns into blood glucose as well. Okay, so when you go to a steakhouse and you're ordering a 12-ounce steak, a lot of that converts into sugar. And people are confused, like, why are my blood sugars all over the place? I just had protein. That's why. Plus, it's really hard on your kidneys. It's hard on your gallbladder. It's hard on everything. It's hard on your digestive tract, intestines, everything, stomach, everything. So stop doing that. So back to the half cup of rice. Too much rice, right? So next time, drop it down to a 1/4 cup. Try it then. Maybe because there wasn't that much of a jump on your, we want to stay out of that 20-point swing. So you just have to adjust, right? Making sure that all the other things are mapped out. You're sleeping 8 hours a night. You're staying hydrated. You're staying stress-free, or as little stress as possible. Your room temperature is decent. You don't have any infections, which means you're taking care of your dental. You're taking care of any sores or wounds or cuts or scrapes. All these things have to be mapped out. All these things need to be dialed in. If all these things are taken care of and you had a greater than a 20-point swing, there's an adjustment you need to make on that food. Maybe you just had vegetables and half a cup of rice. If you add a lean protein, that might work. It's playing with your macros. And you don't need to know macros. I say that because that's what I know, but you don't have to be a nutritionist to understand this. In fact, they're going to tell you the My Plate way, which I am all for the My Plate way because it shows you visuals, but there are oftentimes some adjustments you have to make based on your unique body, right? Your unique needs. Like for me, I can't have dairy. I can't have the dairy that My Plate says. Why? My body rejects it. Plus the lactose messes up my numbers. So there are modifications. So what do? I take eggshell supplements so I can get my calcium every single day. And I get my calcium levels checked twice a year. So is there an answer to how many carbs you eat in a day? I'm not going to give you an answer, but I'll give you a generic, right? So I do want to touch on net carbs. Some of you are coming from the diet mentality, coming from all different sorts of diets, which we've all done them. But oftentimes they'll talk about net carbs. I don't talk about net carbs. I think that complicates things. That makes it confusing and it's not accurate. In fact, it's not even recognized by the FDA or the ADA. In fact, Adkins was the one that brought this up. And again, it was introduced, I think, in 1994, but he brought it up again and made it front and center and was really pounding it into the concrete back in 2001, but he had to retract it. So please stop using that. It complicates things. It makes things more messy, more complicated than it needs to be, truthfully. So what the CDC does recommend, because remember, I'm certified to offer the Diabetes Lifestyle Prevention Program, which is a 12-month program. I'm able to work with anybody willing, groups or individuals, to go through that program. But the CDC recommends someone with a goal weight of, let's say, hypothetically 180 pounds to consume approximately 1,800 calories a day to maintain. Not looking for weight loss, but just as a maintain. They recommend half the calories come from carbs. So that's 800 to 900 carbs. So the calories from carbs would be, so there's 4 calories per gram. That equals 200 grams a day. That's a lot. That's a lot of carbs, right? So I've worked with a lot of people, a lot of individuals, and 200 is too much. Even spreading it out over 6 meals a day is, their blood sugars are not maintained unless they are on 2 different types of insulin. But still, right? Their goal is to get off of insulin and their goal is to lose weight. So it just doesn't mesh for that, but it's just an example. So what I have found with my clients is around 100, 150 spread out throughout the day. Most of it occurring in 2 meals if they're really active. It seems to work out really well. But again, pairing it with a protein, a not a highly processed carb either. Like a small sweet potato, a couple rice cakes, quarter cup of wild rice. Trying to think of some other examples right off the top of my head. Those are the big ones that I remember right now. Oatmeal, that's the other one. Oatmeal. The less processed, the better. So the steel cut or the old fashioned that are less milled as possible. Staying away from corn, staying away from peas, and no underground root vegetables except for maybe a sweet potato, like I said. But sticking with 100 to 150 max spread out seems to be the sweet spot. 5-6 meals a day, pairing it with protein, a little bit of so some of the trace carbs are going to come from vegetables, but these are things that they don't have to really actually count and measure. It's something that I know because I teach them how to eat with visual cues and not having to count carbs, not having to count calories, keeping it really, really simple, because the simpler the better, creating visuals. So it is important. If it is important to you to get control of your blood sugar, you'll be open to learning new ways. They're open to using your meter and figuring out what works for you and keeping a log, keeping a diary of that. If you need help, I'm here. First off, get a 1 free call with me up to 30 minutes. We talk about what challenges, barriers, or history. Tell me about you. And I'll give you a week free in my wellness app if you want to try it. Okay? Don't wait for a perfect time because there's never going to be a perfect time. Just do it. Just act on it. Message me privately. Know that it's not a bother. Like I talk to people all day long. I love what I do. I'm passionate about my work and I'm excited to meet you. So yes, we'll look for ways to work through that and find out what your magic number is. Because like I said, we're all different. For me, it is under 100. It keeps me lean. It keeps me happy. It keeps me energetic. Now I have to have carbs. Carbs are really important for me. Where I have my carbs is my first meal and then the one before my workout. That allows me to burn those calories really quickly. It gives me the energy I need. But again, it's paired with protein always. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Keep improving on what you're doing. So oftentimes when I ask my clients or future clients, what is that one thing that you want to work on? What is that one thing you want to improve on? And I just suggest working on that one thing, not all 20 different things, that one thing, improve on it. So maybe it's water, maybe you're only drinking 8 ounces a day. Try drinking 10 ounces a day for a week and then move that to 12. And the week after that, move that to 18. Just slowly keep going until you reach 120 a day, right? Because I drink anywhere from easily 120 to 170 a day. Keeps me hydrated. Why? Because I feel good. I feel amazing. And you lose body fat through breath, through sweat, and through pee. And it keeps your kidneys happy, healthy, liver, keeps your skin beautifully and glowing, clear thoughts. You don't have the foggy brain or the blurry vision. But it keeps you hydrated, it keeps you healthy, and your blood is 90% water. So I know that if you're dehydrated, your numbers are going to be off. Why? Because your blood is concentrated and your heart is working harder. All right, so I hope this answers your questions. I don't see anybody on here live. I want to try to keep these under 15 minutes, which I think I pretty much about made it today. Because for me, when I see a video that's an hour long, I'm like, oh, I don't have time for this. But if I can keep it in a 15-minute range, I feel like it's worthy and valuable for you to listen to, maybe on your drive or maybe doing the dishes or whatever it is. But know that I'm here for you. I'm here to help you in whatever capacity that is. I come alongside you. I'm not mean, I promise, unless you want me to be. And I still have a hard time with that, but I can do it. But anyways, thank you again for watching. Please comment below, say thank you, I watched the replay, whatever it is, or have a question, comment below because it gives it a boost in the group. More people will see it, more people will view it, and it helps me feel good inside and makes me want to do more of these videos. All right, thank you and see you next week. Bye.